Hello everybody, Steve Politi, Ryan Dunleavy from NJ.com. Just want to talk a little bit about our Louisville project. We had a great time doing this, talking to all the players about that magical night 10 years ago. I was in the press box, grinding away in front of my laptop. I don't even know where you were. Can you tell, where were you then?
Yeah, as I talked to the players, it was kind of a sore spot for me because I graduated in spring of 2005 from Rutgers. I was the Daily Targum beat writer during the lean Greg Schiano years, and then I could not either get a ticket as a student or as an alum or a media pass as a media member. So I was at home watching the game on the couch with my mom. After seeing so many Rutgers losses as a media member, I'm at home watching the game, this big moment on the game.
So there was one sad story out of this whole thing. And it's yours. I had no idea.
You can always count on me for a sad story.
I think you mentioned talking to the players. I think the one thing that stuck out to both of us in doing this is just how vivid the memories are about that night, just to the little details. You know, I mean, I just think about, you know, talking to Mike Teal, and he remembers everything that happened to him from the moment the game was over, going to college after town. I mean, is there one thing that stuck out to you talking to him that you said, wow, how do they remember that stuff?
Yeah, Devron Thompson, who had a huge game that night, and with so many NFL players on the team, Devron Thompson had a huge game. Piscataway kid who grew up, went to Piscataway High School, had an interception and the sack, and both plays he talked to like they happened yesterday. I mean, detail that I can't get from the current players on the Minnesota game 2 weeks ago. He knew who was to his left on which play. He knew what audible he called. He knew, I mean, literally, I felt like I was in the huddle when I was done talking to him. And there was so much. Jamal Westerman's story.
Oh, that's the best story.
The best story of the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to tease it, please read it. Jamal Westerman talking about getting the game ball and poking people in the ribs to get off him on the bottom of the pile. I mean, it's so good.
My favorite story, but that is one. The other one was just that after Ito misses the first kick, Clark Harris is so angry, and you can see it when you watch it again. He goes up and says something to Ito, and he's cursing at him about it. And Anthony Kiley, the holder, had to like calm him down. We don't want to this is not the time to F-bomb the kicker here. I mean, it was just a great little moment that inside what's going on in that game.
Because when you and I started this project, we thought 10 years, it's cool, let's revisit it. People have probably forgotten some of it. And you're expecting to talk about some plays and stuff. But I don't think either of us had any idea how much, like, some of these inside stories we get. In 10 years, no one's talked about that that Clark Harris, Jeremy Ito exchange. No one talked about the Jamal Westerman. All the stories you read for 10 years about this game, we got stuff 10 years later that no one's ever read before, no one's ever heard before, and that I credit the players for sharing that with us.
The other part we didn't get 10 years ago was the sense of realism about it. I mean, people, like I talked to Greg Schiano, and he blames himself for the loss the next week to Cincinnati, and Sean Tucker told me that the team didn't want to take their Texas Bowl rings because they thought it was a consolation prize. So I think they have mixed feelings. They realize how great that night was, but there's a sense of bitterness the way it ended. Well, I hope you enjoy the project. We had a great time doing it. Steve Politi, Ryan Dunleavy signing off. Thanks for watching.